Well, good morning. My name is Amy Lafave. I'm a local history librarian at the Lenox Library, and I'm here to interview Kerry Sullivan, town clerk for the town of Lenox, on voting this election season. There's a lot of new ways to vote, and we just want to give you some information so that you feel confident that your vote is going to be counted. Welcome, Kerry.
Thank you. Thank you, Amy, and thank you for letting me get this information out to people.
So, Kerry, what are the different options for voting in 2020?
Old school absentee voting now is called early voting by mail, and you can do it without, before you had to have an excuse, maybe you were out of town or ill, but now we're actually encouraging people to vote by mail. I'm sure everyone has already received a postcard from the Secretary of State's office, filled it out, sent it in, and should have received a ballot. And if for some reason you have anyone out there has any questions, please just call me. Call here, extension 1207, email me, come on in, make an appointment because we still are closed. So many people are already, over 1,000 people have already voted by mail.
Wow.
You can also, if you do not want to mail it back, we have a drop box in the lobby. You can also, if you just want to do it in person, you can come in to early vote. You can also, when you sent in your postcard, the majority of you out there, you checked off that you wanted to receive a September 1st ballot and a November 3rd ballot by mail. So you're all set. You don't have to do anything else. You can, we'll mail you a ballot in October. Probably we're scheduled to get them the week of October 9th. We're scheduled to get the presidential ballots.
Just explain again, what is the difference between absentee voting and mail-in voting?
Okay. The difference, as I mentioned before, but when we started talking about mail-in voting, many people were hesitant because it was odd for them. They couldn't understand why. But here in town, we have many people that absentee vote already. We have Kimball Farms. Many people like the opportunity to absentee vote. They don't have to come up and stand in crowds. We have Sunset. Many of our residents at Sunset vote absentee every year. Mount Carmel, Devonshire. So we have a large community that votes absentee anyway, because they may have mobility issues, things like that. So they are absentee voters. We also have people that may be out of town, business. Every community has that. They absentee, but you have to have a reason. Okay. But the governor lifted that, so you do not have to have a reason. The legislature actually lifted it. The governor signed the bill. So there's no reason absentee voting. You can just choose, I do not want to go out. I do not want to go be around people. So for whatever reason, that option is, if you feel like voting by mail, go right ahead.
Can I drop off my mail-in ballot at the town hall?
Please do. Please do. Do not, every night on the news, there's more news about the mail. So I'm at home listening to the news with all of you, and I'm thinking, oh, you know, I know tomorrow there's going to be so many people that are worried. Right. What should I do? So I encourage you, we have a drop box in the lobby, as I said, please drop it off. So even if you get it in the mail, you'll get an envelope to mail it back. If you feel, oh, I don't really want to do this, please don't. Just drop it off in the drop box. If you have a neighbor that is coming by that you trust, they can drop it off for you. Before, you had to bring you back your own ballot or a ballot of a family member. Now they've lessened that restriction or taken away that restriction as well in the new legislation.
Okay.
So
that's so I'm coming up to the town hall and the offices are closed. What door can I come in? Can I come in through the front door?
Right in the lobby. Come right
Okay.
in the lobby, and you'll see we have a screen and a velvet rope. So
Okay.
you just come right on in and you go right, and you'll see a reminder about filling out your 2020 federal census.
Yes.
So please fill out your 2020 federal census. We're going to have a computer in the auditorium for early voting and for on September 1st. So if you need help, someone will help you fill out your 2020 federal census.
Okay.
So just a segue.
It's
And
2 for 1
yeah,
special.
that's right. So you'll come in and you'll see the reminder about the census, and then you'll see it's the same Dropbox that's been there forever. It's the one that's in the door, and
In the
it's the
door.
collector's Dropbox, but now we've made it a municipal Dropbox instead of just the collector's Dropbox. But it still comes right into our office, safe and secure.
That is reassuring.
Yes, please.
Okay. So Kerry, again, what day is the Massachusetts primary?
The primary is September 1st.
September 1st.
September 1st.
Okay.
All ballots have to be into us by 8 o'clock, September 1st.
The dates for early voting for the primary.
For the primary are Saturday, the early voting for the primary are Saturday, the 22nd, and Sunday, the 23rd, from 2 to 4.
Okay.
Also, the last day to register to vote for the primary is Saturday, the 22nd. You have to be here. The hours are 2 to 4 to register and 7 to 8. So if you're not registered to vote in Lenox by 8 o'clock Saturday night, unfortunately, you will not be able to vote. Early voting is also Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the 25th through the 28th in the auditorium from 8:30 to 4.
Okay. And then you get a weekend off before the primary.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yep.
And that date is September 1st. That's a Tuesday, did we say?
It is.
Okay.
And you can also, if you need to vote, there's a 12 noon deadline to vote AV in person of August 31st. So any stragglers can come in and vote on the 31st until noon.
Okay.
But I would not encourage that because, we've got a setup for the few people that may not have voted that might want to come in on September 1st.
Okay. So again, what is the deadline for mail-in voting for the primary?
You can get a ballot till Wednesday the 26th, which is this Wednesday, 5 p.m. vote by mail application deadline. So I have to receive your application by Wednesday, 5 o'clock.
Okay. So what is the date for the actual election day?
The election is November 3rd.
Okay. And that's
and
a Tuesday.
It is a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yep.
Okay. And when is early voting for election day?
Early voting for election day is Saturday and Sunday, the 17th and 18th, and I'm assuming they are not going to change the times. So they go by population. So our population says we have to be open for 2 hours.
Okay.
Some towns and cities have to be open all day, but we have to be open for 2 hours. So we're opting for the 2 to 4 on the 17th and the 18th. Then we're open for early voting that week, which would be the 19th through the 23rd.
Okay.
From 8:30 to 4 in the auditorium. And then again, we're open the 24th and the 25th on Saturday and Sunday, 2 to 4. And then we're open the 26th through the 30th. So that gives you 2 weeks and 2 weekends to early vote in the election, the general election on November 3rd. And that is let me just see. The voter registration deadline, again, 2 to 4, 7 to 8 on October 24th. So you have to register to vote by October 24th for the presidential election, general election on November 3rd.
Okay. Can I vote by mail for election day?
Yes, and many of you have already requested to do that. You can also track your ballot to make sure that, for those of you that like to play with the computer, you can do that.
Yes.
Just to make sure.
So I actually played with my computer to track my ballot, but because I hadn't applied for a ballot, it couldn't find me. So that's because I didn't apply for a ballot.
Right.
And not
And it
because
will
I live in
also,
a
right. No,
Okay.
exactly right. And
Okay.
we did put a poster up in the Dale, that just to make sure everybody in the Dale, make sure I have their address, their mailing address. So hopefully
Right.
you do make sure I have your mailing address.
So your
And I
PO
also,
box,
P.O. Box.
because
Yep.
we don't give mail at home in the Dale.
Yep. But I heard a rumor that you will still get it eventually.
Oh, okay.
So, because I did have a couple people that I did send to in the Dale, this will be our test, that I could not get a mailing address. I couldn't, and they requested it, but they didn't put their mailing address and they didn't put it on their voter registration form.
Okay.
So I have no choice but to send that ballot to, so those people out there that didn't give me a P.O. box in the Dale, call me.
Okay, so we've talked about how many people applied for both ballots, but for those who haven't, what is the deadline for mail-in voting for election day?
The November 2nd, 12 noon, that's the Monday before, that's the last day to vote early in person. That doesn't mean you asked about mail, but that's a deadline, a good deadline to know. The last day to register to vote, that's October 28th. Again, it's a Wednesday, 5 p.m. vote by mail application deadline. So if you want to vote by mail in November, you have to let me know by Wednesday, October 28th.
Okay. Kerry, you've been a font of knowledge. Is there a place where I can find all this information?
Sadly, it's just in here. You just, you have to just come chat and I'll tell you all this information. It's actually on our website, and which is townoflenox.com. And some people said it's a little hard to find. So it's actually I have an elections page. So go to townoflenox.com and then just go to departments, town clerk page. Some people if you hover over how do I, and you'll see an election right on the home page.
Okay.
And but it's the same as this page. See where it's how do I, hover over that.
Well, okay, yes, how do I?
And there you'll see elections in town meeting.
Okay.
Right there. Yep. And it's right there as well.
Okay.
And also the Secretary of State
This page.
Oh my goodness, there it is.
There it is.
mass.gov/S as in Sam, E as in Edward, C as in cat. All that stuff is right there. And I have that link. Did you get that link from my page?
I did, Kerry.
There you go.
You are doing everything you can to accommodate those of us with various needs and concerns.
Exactly. We want people to feel comfortable voting, and there's an answer. If there's something we haven't thought of, there is an answer out there. So.
All right, Kerry. Well, thank you very much for taking the time out this morning to.
I'm happy to help. Happy to help, Amy, and thank you for asking me.
Oh, glad to do it. We like to find out information here at the library, and then we like to share it. So,
right.
So again, Kerry's phone number is
637-5500, extension 1207.
1207. Okay.